Good morning, it's Jason here with the Dropship Flight Simulator inspired by the movie Aliens. It occurred to me that through the Indiegogo campaign I didn't have a lot of footage. I was so busy with the construction, I guess I didn't take a whole lot of pictures that I should have, or enough video, so a couple of you had asked for some updated video, and so here we go. I gotta head off to work here pretty quick, but this is the enclosure. It is weatherized. It is so it's made to stay outside. It's about 2,500 pounds with occupants, and it sits on top of this 8412 deck over trailer, tandem axle. It has a 3,800 pound weight capacity, and that's important because when you start moving the enclosure, you know, your live load approaches that 3,500 or 3,800 pounds very quickly. In the yellow area right now are compressed, but there are four double convolute train suspension bellows, and that's what runs the motion. Those are connected via transducers to the avionics computer, which orchestrates the movement 3 degrees of freedom, which are pitch, roll, and heave, which is straight up and down. This is under wraps is the compressor that runs the air, so it's important to know that it is, or to note that it is air. So it's just outside air that's taken in, it's cleaned, it's dried because there's a lot of moisture in the air, and then it's sent to a tank, a holding tank underneath. It's a 12-gallon underslung tank. It's very similar to hydraulics, except when you're done with the fluid, quote unquote, you can just vent it to the outside air, whereas hydraulic oil you have to bring back to a reservoir. It also has to be filtered because it'll pick up contaminants from the system, and then if you ever have a rupture, it's a big mess, which would ruin a you know, I'd hate to leave an oil slick at a birthday party that I took this to. So this is much more environmentally friendly and clean, and totally does the job. I'm very used to using pneumatics instead of hydraulics, and definitely recommend them for projects. The blue, oh, this is where the cooling system is supposed to go. We got room on the deck here. There was one here before, but it was about half the BTU that I needed. The manufacturer helped size it, and we got the numbers to them, and somehow ended up with a machine that was too small. So we're upgrading that now. The top hose is the supply duct, which goes into a diffuser in the cabin, and then the return duct is the lower one, comes straight out of the avionics bay, and that's what's holding it up from running right now, is that the nighttime temperature is only getting down to 75, daytime is getting into the 90s. Although it's well insulated, we just can't run any equipment inside because it contributes to the heat, and there's no way to get rid of it really. So we're kind of not operating right now, but there's plenty of coding going on, and small projects inside, like the gunner station, which I was going to show you, is in development. So interior, you have, okay, let's back up. We got a portable step, well, 2 steps I guess, onto the deck over, and then another step up. This is all ASTM compliant, in case you're wondering. Step up in there, and then there's another level higher for the gunner station. There's like an elevated platform, and underneath that is where all of the avionics and display computers are. PSUs, there's a halon fire extinguisher, a UPS to protect the computers from power fluctuations. That generator I showed you is a pure sine wave output, so you can actually run the UPS off of it. Definitely recommend splurging and getting the pure sine wave version. Okay, so we got 6 HD screens that wrap around the occupants, and they are perspectively corrected. The positions of these bezels are actually plugged into the program. You can see that on the blog. And then the Arms of Venus engine automatically adjusts what you're seeing outside to look correct from a point in the cockpit. And that point is somewhere between the two eyes of the gunner and the pilot. And we've talked about if there's just one person flying, optimizing the experience for that person is just as easy as pushing a button. But normally we're expecting to have two people in here flying. Oh, the door. The door is pneumatically controlled as well, which is, it's not working now because there's no pressure, but it slides in and out of this pocket using a pneumatic actuator piston. Okay, and this is the, let's see, this is the pilot station. It has a, complete with a HUD. Gosh, is this thing gonna, can you see? Is it clearing up? There we go. Not great. There's not a whole lot of light, but the pilot station's mostly finished. We got one monitor with buttons. It's a button panel monitor that has to be installed yet, and there's a lot of coding to do with those yet. And then the far left ICAST display, the big monitor, shows like the engines and caution messages and stuff like that. And then the gunner station is structurally ready to install the swivel tray where another joystick and monitor will be installed. What else? The ejection seats came out of an F4. A lot of people ask about that. They're MK7H is the model, Martin Baker, if you want to look that up. They're demilitarized, of course, and I had to get a little creative with installing them because they're meant for the catapult, which is on the back, to be the only part that's actually connected to the aircraft. And they're heavy. They weigh about 250, 280, I think we said, when all is said and done, with the parachute packs and the survival gear in the seat pan. Halon fire suppression, we talk about that, is underneath the gunner's seat in the avionics bay. Is a 3-pound dry agent which discharges automatically at, I think it's 160 degrees, and the computer's monitoring that temperature, so well before it gets to 160 it would automatically shut down the ride and open the door so that people could get out if there are people inside. And gosh, I think that's it. I really appreciate all of the support that I've received on Indiegogo and from family and friends in general, and Arms of Venus, our partner in crime. And yeah, I'll update again soon. I appreciate all the support, and thank you for watching.